This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Let's get right into the news. I hope you guys are having a great Monday. Okay, so we're going to start off. Nicki Minaj has a new single coming out with A$AP Ferg. She's doing as much as she can before she has the baby. They have another single together. A$AP Rocky kind of let it out the bag. Then Nicki let him know it's official. Should be coming out this week. We'll see. The Plain Jane remix was good. I know they filmed a video to that, but it never came out. I don't know why it didn't come out. And they also have a song on Creed 2. But hey, it is what it is. We'll see when this comes out. So Floyd Mayweather was on Fat Joe's podcast, whatever it is, his Instagram thing that he makes money on. He's basically, Fat Joe. I like Fat Joe, but his whole title podcast didn't work. So now he's doing this, and I see how he's emulating. I'm not going to say who he's emulating, but he's copying certain certain people who do interviews where like someone says like, hold on, say that again. This is a Jopra moment. And he's talking about Floyd Mayweather. First, Floyd Mayweather disclosed that him and 50 Cent have a problem because 50 Cent wanted 50% of his company and Floyd said no. I think it's a little deeper than that. I think Floyd Mayweather promised him something when he went away and 50 Cent held everything down. 50 Cent actually set up TMT Promotions for Floyd Mayweather with his team, and then he didn't get a piece of it. I would have been kind of tight too. Because, listen, it's the music business, okay? It's entertainment. It's boxing. There's no friends, okay? And I think 50 Cent learned that you weren't really friends with Floyd Mayweather. You guys were cool, okay? But when it comes down to money, he's going to choose his money over you. And I'm sure 50 Cent's the same way with other people, okay? He did pay for George Floyd's funeral. That was nice. Yeah, Floyd does a lot of good things with his money. This is the funny part of the podcast that I thought was funny. So Joe was like, oh, so how do you stay having money all these times? Now, we don't know if Floyd Mayweather's money's going to last. It should. I mean, he made almost $1 billion, right? But he spends money. It's very easy to mess up money. I know you've all had money and messed it up before. I have. It's very easy to spend money. It's hard to make money. It's easy to make money too sometimes, but it's just as easy to lose money. So anyways, Floyd Mayweather is saying, buy land, buy this. I'm going to tell you, I know plenty of friends that are in real estate. I own real estate, okay? I don't do it as a job, or I don't do it to make money. But I do own real estate. And real estate can be risky. You can lose your shirt. It's not a guaranteed thing. So when they say buy land, they're not making any more of it in this. Listen, if you go buy a piece of property in a bubble, this happened to a lot of people. This is how a lot of people, 2008, look at all the people who lost their homes. So people were buying houses for like $1.2 million, $1 million. They were giving out loans in 2006, 7, and then they had a crash in 2008. So what happened was the house you bought for $1.2 million, or say you bought a house for $700,000, say you bought a house for $500,000, because the bubble burst, and that house you got a loan on for $500,000 is now worth maybe $400,000. So you're upside down in your loan. Already you're paying interest on the loan, so you're already going to pay more than the house is worth anyways, okay, with a loan. Say you buy a house for $300,000 over the course of 15 or 30 years, you're going to be paying $50,000 to $100,000 more than it is because of the interest, okay? Do the math. You're never buying that house for $300,000. Now, if you're in the business of flipping a house, there's tax rules that help you with that. That's a whole different issue, but you got to keep reinvesting the money. That's a whole conversation about that. But what Floyd's not mentioning is he's buying $20 million houses and $10 million houses. Those sit on the market forever. It's hard to find a person who can afford a $10 to $20 million house. While it's sitting there, you're paying huge taxes on that house, huge operating expenses. You can't just let a house sit without electricity and being maintained. That has to stay. So you're footing like maybe 10 to 20 grand a month on a $20 million home, because the taxes are like $200,000 a year on most homes that size and that expensive, and you got about $1,000 to $2,000 in just utilities. It might take you 2 to 3 years to find a buyer, and then you have a loan on the property, most likely. I mean, Floyd doesn't have to take out a loan, but most people would choose to not invest their own money. They'd start a corporation, take a loan out from the corp, and if it doesn't work out, you fold it. He's not telling you those details. It's not guaranteed. I just want people to get that out of their minds. You have to be smart, buy in an area where you feel like it's developing, and get it cheaper. And if you feel like there's a lot of development going around, in 2 to 3 years time, the price of your house or land you bought might go up $50,000 to $100,000, and you might make a profit of some sort. Especially if you're living in the place, you already got to pay for somewhere to live anyways, and you go to the next house. I've been lucky enough to do that. I didn't do it purposely, but last year I bought a house. I moved, bought a different house, and luckily they're building a lot in the area, so my house value's already gone up. I put a lot into the house. Maybe I'll break even, maybe I'll make a little bit. I don't know, but I'm gonna, I'd like to keep things moving. Every couple years I like to move. Anyways, that's that. And then lastly, we have Boosie had a pool party over the weekend. Nobody was taking any kind of precautions, and I have no problem with this, because it's really, I do have a problem with it and I don't. Like honestly, I just don't have any faith in people anymore, as far as if people were to take precautions of washing their hands and distancing themselves, it wouldn't spread everything. There is a 99% survival rate on everything, but we have to go by numbers and stop spreading this, because things are going to remain closed. More people that are going to get it that can't really fight it. Not everybody can. Some people have pre-existing conditions, and it's very hard for them to fight it off. And this happens every flu season too. I'm not comparing it to that, because it's definitely worse. I'm just saying it's sad to just catch something and that's it, and you didn't do anything to deserve that. So Boosie, everybody, they can't go out and have fun, so he had this pool party at his house, which looks like a palace. And he caught a lot of flack, but also the protests, necessary protests, don't get me wrong, because we do need to reform police and everything, but that was spread a lot too. It's sad that people aren't taking the precautions, especially at Boosie's party, because nobody was taking any kind of precautions. I'm sure he wasn't checking people's temperatures and everything. That's an environment where you can really control things. I just wish people would have taken things a little more seriously. Don't stay home and not live your life, but also, don't stay home and just not live your life, but just take the precautions to, wash your hands, wear a mask so you don't sneeze all over everything. That's the real thing about a mask. It can't really stop everything coming in, but it can stop things from coming out. Coughing and everything. It can stop all that. You got to think about other people, man. You don't know who you're around. Someone could have left that party and been around their grandmother afterwards, and it's sad, So it's a real thing. It's not made up. It's not as serious as they portray. I mean, it is a 98% survival rate, but it's still serious in the fact that it's real, okay? And if you can stop it from hurting someone you love, you should, right? That's just common sense. I'm neutral on this. I just look at it from a realistic common sense point, where, hey, why not take the precautions, right? I love you guys and I appreciate you guys, and you stay safe out there, because I do care about you. And make sure you wash your hands, wear the mask, and just distance yourself as much as you can. I appreciate you guys so much, and please be safe out there. This is Jordan Tower, JT News. I'll check you guys in the next one. I know the news is a little light, but don't worry, things will happen. Peace.